Ulysses S. Grant is known for many things. Things as being our 18th president of the United States of America, or being a great war general during the Civil War. Common accomplishments he's known for is leading the Union Army to victory in the American Civil War, focusing on civil rights and Reconstruction after the Civil War. He was very passionate about his career and his presidency. He understood the reasons behind his perspectives and actions compared to others. I personally view him as a morally correct individual during his time. In today's eyes, he is seen as a mediocre president, a president who was incapable of leading our country, someone who was scandalous and involved in corruption. He didn't deal with Reconstruction effectively as he should have. His organizations and groups were corrupted. He battled with a lot of problems, depression, loneliness, and alcoholism. Most view Grant as a great military leader and a struggling president, but he can be seen in the brighter aspects. People are quick to judge a character based on what they hear or promptly learn about. But I believe we should first learn more about a character and dive deeper into what they actually did back then. The lesser known accomplishments of an individual I see as more important. Diving deep into a character's history truly reveals their motives, highlights, and interests. Ulysses S. Grant was born on April 27th, 1822 in Point Pleasant, Ohio. He had a hardworking and humble, modest upbringing. His early education was basic, but he excelled in math and he had a calm personality. In 1839, his father encouraged him to join the U.S. Military Academy of West Point. After graduation, Grant served in the Mexican-American War, his start into his growing career. In Acuna's Occupied America, A History of Chicanos, a banned book about the hidden history of Mexican Americans, Acuna states that about an unpopular quote about him. This quote, stated by Ulysses S. Grant, on his view of the American-Mexican War. For myself, I was bitterly opposed to the measure, and to this day regard the war with Mexico one of the most unjust ever waged by a stronger against a weaker nation. It was an instance of a republic following the bad example of European monarchies in not considering justice in the desire to acquire additional territory. This quote shows his disdain of the U.S. starting the war with Mexico as he compared it to European monarchies. During this time, manifest destiny was prevalent and all Americans believed in it. He didn't believe in it. Grant opposed this belief as he believed in equity and that all peace must be preserved in order to prevail. His denial of manifest destiny in opposition of war demonstrates his judgment of character. A less known part of his life was his passing. He was diagnosed with throat cancer due to his constant smoking. Grant was affiliated with a corrupt financial advisor that mislocated Grant's retirement funds, and Grant went bankrupt. With no money, a family he will leave, and declining health, Grant did his absolute best to provide as much money as he can to his family before his passing. Grant was closely associated with Mark Twain, a famous writer and author. Twain suggested that Grant should make a book about his personal memoirs. Grant accepted, and every day, even through his harsh disease, he wrote many personal memoirs. Twain even described that his dedication to his work as if he was on the battlefields during the Civil War. Grant laid down his pen, writing a whopping 366,000 words in less than a year. His memoirs made him around $450,000, equivalent to 12 million today. His dedication and fear of leaving his family before brought his last moments of strength in order to secure a safe and wealthy future for his family. Throughout his presidency, Grant faced many hardships, such hardships as prevalent and violent racism against African Americans in southern states. As Grant was an advocate for civil rights, he fought with Congress on deploying troops into those states to investigate and arrest perpetrators. As Grant was an advocate for civil rights, he fought with Congress on deploying troops into those states to investigate and arrest perpetrators. One such group, the Ku Klux Klan, Grant opposed heavily and arrested many who were suspected of affiliations. Grant's deployment of troops was considered unconstitutional, and Congress was against it. With little money to support his efforts, and with little support, he had to recall his troops. Although unsuccessful, violence shrunk and communities praised his actions for safety. Another important accomplishment was his signing of the Yellowstone National Park Act. This act would form the first park and set the establishment of future parks and protections. He showed little interest, but it was something great that he knew it would be preserving wildlife and preventing expansion of the U.S. There are many reasons for his bad reputation, though. Such reasons is that he was surrounded by corruption everywhere. His acquaintances and governments officials received many bribes. They were involved with many scandals. Although Grant wasn't considered corrupted, he was taken advantage of most of the time. Most of his corruption started by assigning close individuals. Grant was heavily involved in nepotism. Grant was also inexperienced with politics, as he had very little political experience. He was too trusting of his colleagues, and they got the better of him. Grant was under a lot of pressure after the Civil War. The economy was terrible. He had terrible appointees. He couldn't deal with it effectively. Grant also became fatigued after his efforts, leading to many economical instabilities. Although Grant is regarded as a mediocre president, he was renowned in his work and prestige. He was regarded as a terrible president. During his time, he was seen as weak, unintelligent, not fit to serve as a president. Opinions today view Grant differently, as he was handled an economy that was failed to begin with. He favored peace. He favored equal protections and rights for all. I say myself that he was a great man during his time. He understood the hardships of life back then, and he tried his best to unify a violent country.